Hi there, it's Tim with Far North Magic. Today I just wanted to take a look at the first look at Modern Horizons 3 article. It came out on February 23rd of this year. We're going to see the few spoilers they did, some variants that they're coming out with, the product listings, and then we're going to look at some of the pricing that's out there for it. And hopefully by the end of this, I don't seem like a wizard shill, because I don't think it's nearly as bad as what all the outrage is over this set. Is this set going to be pricey? Yes, it's going to be. But is it going to be nearly as bad as what people are thinking? I don't think so. And the whole thing is even if it is as crazy as people say, think it is, what happened with Commander Masters when it was too crazy? People just didn't buy it, and then killed their local game store, basically. So, and then they bought it when it got cheaper. So, the system works out in the end. If the product's too expensive and nobody buys it, the price will come down, and then it will get bought. And then if nobody buys the sealed, the singles are going to be pricey. So then people will buy the sealed because it will have arbitrage for a brief period of time, and at least stores will then get to make a little bit of dollars. So we're going to start off with the Emrakul, A World Anew. It's a 12 mana, 12/12. I didn't think they'd put Eldrazi Titans in a set like this. I thought they'd save them to do a whole storyline. You could get a whole year standard out of doing some Eldrazi storyline bits, but I guess we're here. When you cast a spell, gain control of all creatures target player controls. It's got flying and protection from spells and from permanents that were cast this turn. When it leaves play, sack all creatures you control, and then it's got a madness spell cost of 6, colorless. So you can cheat it out. Definitely going to be interesting. I could easily see Tron figuring out a way to cheat this in. And definitely interesting to see if other decks are able to cheat it out. I don't know. Definitely different. We got also allied fetches with the Polluted Delta and such. So definitely going to be interesting to see how these fare. I imagine these will get crushed down pretty good. I imagine even if the product isn't opened in mass, I imagine fetches will drop by half at least. And then I think the other thing is that patience with these is most important, because with Modern Horizons 2, stores put a lot of supports in with good buy lists and stuff, and now some of the prices are basically what the buy list, just a little more than what the buy lists were when I was buy listing a lot of the fetches, when I was doing a lot of openings for Horizons 2. So definitely interesting to see how it will go. Although if people don't really open the product, how Ravnica Remastered went, they might not drop as far down, but I still figure 50% at the lowest point. So I would think being patient is best on the fetches. We also have some other spoilers that they did with Flare of Cultivation. It's a 1 and 2 green. Search your library for 2 basics. Put 1 into your hand, 1 into battlefield tapped. But it's got an alternative cost of sack a non-token green creature. So that's a really good commander card at the very least. If not, I wonder if it will see play in a constructed format. But I guess we'll just see. I think it will be pricey for the people that can't wait to have it for standard for commander, I think. Then we got Psychic Frog. It's a blue and black for 1/2. When it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, draw a card. So I like how they have it where you can hit a walker to draw a card still, because that's like usually the thing. You'd have to hit a player to get the card, but then you don't have that option to hit a walker. You can discard a card to put a 1/1 counter on it, and then exile 3 cards from your graveyard. It gains flying until end of turn. So give it some evasion to be able to get in there to get the card draw. Definitely gives me Psychotog vibes, but definitely I think better. Although I'm not sure. Usually these early cards are get people hyped up, but then aren't even the cards that are the best cards in the set, it seems. We got Scurry of Gremlins. It's an uncommon for 4 mana, 2 white and a red. It's an enchantment that when it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 gremlin tokens. And then you get an amount of energy equal to the number of creatures into play. And then pay 4 energy. Creatures you control get +1, +0, and gain haste. So definitely going to be interesting to see if there's like a token rush deck type thing or such. Like, I wouldn't think it would fit the goblin 8-whack type thing, but I don't know. I guess we'll just see if they make energy broken again, or if they have it be kind of toned down to not be that crazy. We also have a new Ajani. It's a Flipwalker. So it's Ajani Nakatl Pariah on the front side for 1 colorless and a white. 1/2. You get a 2/1 Cat Warrior token when it enters, and then when 1 or more cats you control die, you can exile it. I guess the nice part is you may exile it, so it's not a forced, I guess, if it doesn't make sense to do it. And then transform him into a Johnny Nakatl Avenger. 3 loyalty, +2. Put a 1/1 counter on each cat you control. Create a 2/1 for 0. Create a 2/1 white cat warrior token. When you do, if you control a red permanent other than a Johnny, he deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to any target. So that might give you some reach later in the game, at least. And then for -4, each opponent chooses an artifact, creature, an enchantment, and planeswalker among the non-land permanents they control. Then sacks to rest. So that could be pretty devastating also. And it doesn't evolve like a Johnny Vengeance. You had to like pump plus for like 4 turns, hope it didn't get killed. Then on the 5th turn you could like minus to like destroy all lands for an opponent, right? So like I don't know. It's pretty fast to get to that -4, so it's definitely going to be interesting. See how that goes. Then we got some Tameo pictures with a Tameo and then a Tameo in a library looking area. Then we got 2 reprints. Lalia, the Blade Reforged. It's a Commander card from Commander 21, and then also the Baldur's Gate, one of the Baldur's Gate decks. And then we got Priesthood Titania from Urza Saga, Pauper, Elves All-Star, Casual Elves All-Star. I don't know. I guess we'll see if that does enough to support elves, to get elves to be a deck. I'm not too sure. I would almost think it'd still be too slow somehow. Then we got some Booster Fun action with some Eldrazi basics. Definitely interesting to see how these go. Then we got some more Booster Fun stuff for the new Emrakul. So we got a concept art, like the Praetors were. So I think that looks pretty cool. Then we got the Etched. I really wish Etched seems like when you open, they just have Etched as a one of in the collectors usually. And then the pool is so big that they are pretty hard pulls, and then they just aren't people don't care about them. It's kind of weird that way, but I guess we'll just see in the end. Magic people seem more for utility than the just random flashy stuff. We got serialized Eldrazi. So here's the Emrakul out of 250 in the concept art. Definitely, I don't know. I think the problem with the serialized cards is that if they made the concept art and then the only way to get the concept art in foil was the serialized one, that would be fine. But if there's a concept art foil, and then that just doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that much to me, I guess. To me, the serialized card should be the double rainbow thing doesn't. I don't think it matters to a lot of people. And then if you double sleeve the is the double rainbow able to be noticed so well? Because you even have some sleeves where it will mute the some of the flashiness of a foil, right? So I don't know. I guess we'll just see. We also have textured foils returning. So for the Borderless Ajani, we got the textured. I don't know. The textured foils are kind of hit or miss to me. I kind of like the Commander Masters ones, although they're kind of hard to get. But people still don't kind of they're not worth a huge amount of money. So I don't know. It's definitely interesting to see that they're continuing on with textured foils. We also have frame breaks. A lot of these I didn't mind from Commander Masters, although there was a few of them that were pretty big overkill. But I guess we'll just see how good or bad these ones are. We got the Flare Cultivation and the Psychic Frog here. Also, similarly with Commander Masters. They're doing some portrait ones again, or borderless profiles. I think these were okay. Some were very good, some were just meh, and some were like, really, why did they do this? Or why is it this angle or headshot? Like, why is it this picture versus it should be a different angle or something? But I guess we'll just see how it goes in the end. I don't know. They should almost just do a few less variants, and I think like they should, when they reprint stuff, then do the other variants. So like maybe skip retro on some stuff and then do retro variant next time that they reprint it. But I guess I'm just silly that way. We got the Emrakul, Priest of Titania, and the Psychic Frog in the retro. So definitely interesting to see. They have also borderless fetches this time. So I wonder if that means that there'll be more or less fetches in, because there was like 4 or 5 fetches a lot of the time in the collectors. So, and you got around 3.5 or 4 in the regular boxes. So definitely interesting to see what the drop rates on the variants are. Like, I know the extendeds are going to be only collector, but the retros were like pretty hard to get in non-collectors, but then you could only get the non-foils retros in I think they were only in the draft and the set packs, but it was like one in like 100 packs or something. It was like one in like 2 or 3 boxes, it seemed. So they were pretty tough to get. So curious if the borderless are just the collectors, or if they're just gonna be in all the different packs. We got their set symbols with the main set, the commander, and then special guests. The one special guest I saw was a Solitude, so that's interesting. Like, that's going to be if the special guests are of that level, then that's going to be cool. But I imagine that might be like, do they do the elementals and Ragavan? And then what are the other ones? Like, is there only going to be 10? Is there going to be more like Lost Caverns? Very interested to see. So we're going to get more previews on May 21st, so we're a ways away. But and then the complete card gallery thing is going to be done the 31st. The pre-release is the 7th, and the launch is the 14th. So, and MagicCon in Amsterdam is the end of June. So then we got, for the product lineup, we got play boosters. We also have collector boosters. We have pre-release kits. We got bundle. We also have a gift bundle. And then we also have one of the other things that's controversial about the set is commander decks. I kind of wish they skipped these, just on the fact that they've been doing 4 commander decks a set so far this year, and like, it's like a lot of commander decks. So it would have been nice to have one set where they just kind of skip commander. Maybe they load up some cards in the set where they do like each opponent or each player instead of just target opponent or something, and then they call it a day. But here we are with commander decks and collector commander decks. I guess that's a way that they don't have to jack the prices of the boxes up too much, because they can just do these extra commander decks and get some extra money. So got a Graveyard Overdrive deck. Fill your graveyard and avenge the dead. It'll be interesting to see like what they put in these decks, like just for reprints, because like they've been reprinting a lot of the same stuff because they got so many decks. What reprints are going to be good, and then also like what are the new cards going to be, because I think it's like 15 new cards per deck. So that could be where a lot of the money is also. We also have Tricky Terrain. It's a Simic deck, ramp lands and grow value. Definitely all that you would expect with Simic deck. I don't know. Simic decks are pretty good usually, have a lot of staples, but like the last Simic deck I remember, there might have been another one, but like was like the Reap the Tide deck that was like $20 originally. So I'd be curious to see like how they make this a lot better. And that Reap the Tide deck's like actually gone up quite a lot. So, but part of it's because it started out so low. And then we got Creative Energy. It's a Jeskai deck. Energy counters and powerful payoffs. Like this would be a deck, like the little blurbs help kind of can help like make you, well, not make you, but like help you know what the deck's about, so then you can maybe, I don't know, I don't want to say spec on cards because it's not a real possibility on stuff, but like definitely gives you indication to like if you had a bunch of energy cards like Aetherworks Marvel or the Gonti Ether Hearts and stuff, maybe moving off of a bunch of them would make sense because it might be in the deck. And then we also have the Eldrazi Incursion. It's multicolor Eldrazi deck. Start small, Eldrazi Smash. So after the Commander Masters deck, that was an Eldrazi deck that was really only a colorless deck apparently. We got 5 color question mark or 6 color. I don't know what people would count that as. And every color Eldrazi deck plus colorless. Definitely going to be interesting to see hopefully they make the land base better than the Sliver deck from Commander Masters, because that was just super pitiful. So many tap lands, so bad. Like holy cow, for so much money. Like that's the other thing. If it was like, oh yeah, it's a $40 5-color deck, okay, I can understand the mana base being bad, but yikes. Okay, so we got the end of the article, and that they're going to do more previews May 21st. So part of the reason why people are outraged about this set are the placeholder prices on Amazon. Because unless Amazon makes a mistake, they're not necessarily going to be the cheapest place, or it's a dump. If it's a dump, then they're going to be cheap. But on a main release, they're going to do this tricky bullshit where they put the price in really high and then they can start to drop the price. And that's, I think, for two things: to get people talk about it, and then to trick people into buying it later when they put it on sale. And then also it gets people to be like, oh, okay, well, if it's $500, I'm not going to buy it out. Screw them, they're greedy, they're all this stuff. But then when you get presented with a price of, I don't know, $360, you're going to be like, oh, okay, well, like, that's not that bad. And, like, if they do something like that, then they'll just be like, oh, yeah, 25% off or something, right? And then people will put that in the outrage cycle of, oh, they're pre-dumping it. But it will be realistically only getting it down to what the price should have been the whole time. And what the price should, like, that stores are offering it for already. So we have the collector booster being 504. The other thing I find with Amazon, I haven't bought from Amazon before, but the impression that I get is you can, like, pre-order it and you don't put money down. It, like, doesn't bill till they're gonna ship. And then the other thing is like, you can cancel it. They have pretty lenient cancellation policies. And then also if they drop the price, you get the better price. So there's, like, no incentive not to put in a pre-order just as a hedge. But so we have 504 for collector, 378 for play boosters, 95 one for bundle, 110 for gift bundle. The gift bundle seems like a deal, just because if you get 9 packs plus 9 play plus the collector, that might be one of the better deals. 280 for commander, and 600 for the collector commander. Overall, yeah. So, like, I think that's the whole thing. Like, it's definitely going to be interesting if they could put enough value in these that get people actually to want to buy them. Like, I plan to buy at least one to open, if not a few, because I'm just silly and an idiot. But I did well on the Horizons 2 collectors that I opened last time, so I guess we'll see if it's as good as that one or just terrible. For the commander decks, they look like regular commander decks. You get your 100 cards. There's 15 new cards per deck. You get your sample pack. I was surprised that, like, I was watching some people and they were thinking these sample packs weren't what they, like, that this was a big deal, or that it was a big deal that there was a rare mythic. I'm like, that's just a normal sample pack. Like, they've been doing these since Streets of New Capenna decks, with very few alterations. Like, but I guess we'll just see. Overall, commander decks are usually a good place of value. In the collector commander decks, you get special foiling, another foiling to get people all outraged that they're coming out with another foiling. So it's a ripple foil. It is a pattern that gleams like ripples in a pool of water. It also looks like you get your face commanders as borderless profile commanders. So definitely interesting to see that they did that upgrade for the collector decks. And other than that, it doesn't seem that much different, like 100 foil cards, but definitely interesting to see if they are going to be as curled as the Warhammer ones. But because the Warhammer decks got pretty curved and people complained, so I guess the next thing that I'm going to look at is there was a store in Canada, 401 Games. They put the pricing up for Horizons 3, and it's going to be closer to what makes sense versus these placeholder prices, I think. 401's like one of the best stores in Canada for sealed product, I find, at least. They generally tend to be one of the cheapest stores, if not the cheapest. And also, they have one of the biggest selections of products in Canada. Most of the stores will sell out of something and then not bother restocking, but these guys seem to keep almost everything, it seems, for the last few years at least, with some exceptions, I guess. But so we got pricing of $499.95 Canadian for a collector. So basically the same price, but the thing is the Canadian dollar is a lot worse than the American dollar. So it's like 30, like $1 American dollar is 136 Canadian, right? So if you factor in the exchange rate, and although there is also usually an extra tax or tariff, or there's some extra stupid thing that makes stuff cost more in Canada on top of the exchange rate usually. So if you just factor in the exchange rate, it's 368, like in the 360s for the collector. Is that expensive still for American? Yeah. But is it as bad? Not as bad as 500 at least. Like, I don't... Maybe I'm just silly and blinded and Stockholm syndrome into yes, it's okay. I like this. I like to pay all this extra money. But I don't think I think the prices are going to be in for if you had the placeholder prices have a correction of 25%, are people going to be more receptive to it? I think a lot more receptive to it. So we got the play boosters, $390. That's in the 280s for American. So that's still expensive, but not too bad. Gift bundle $130. That'd be $96. I tried to buy a gift bundle, but it sold out from under me. Tried to buy one of the sets of collector commander, as they were restricting it to one per person. It sold out from while I had it in the cart. Just not fast enough. I'm too boomer at the fast speeds. Bundle at 100, so in the 70s, low 70s. Is that a lot for a bundle? Yeah, but it's if it's $20 extra, I don't think it's then a normal a bundle in Canada is $60. So it's still a lot more in Canada, but we have $299.95 for the commanders, so that's $220-ish. I think that's still not that bad. Is it Commander Masters bad? No, it's not. Is it a lot more than a normal set of Commander decks? Yeah. A normal set of Commander decks is like 200 in Canada. So it's like 50% more. But I hope that it's not because like Commander Masters was $350 to $450. A lot of stores were in that $400 range for them. It was very bad. So it's going to be interesting to see, can these decks be like better than the Commander Masters decks, because a lot of the $200 sets of decks have been pretty good the last few, and if these decks aren't that good, like, people will probably just skip them. We got the collector decks for $630, so that'd be like $460 ish. So at $460, is that good? I think that's not even that bad. Like, it's still bad. Like, it's still probably a ripoff, but you're not going to buy like 20 or 30 sets, right? You're going to buy like one set. Like, definitely that gets it back into the realm of where the Warhammer premium decks were. And the Warhammer premium decks did well until that restock, that reprint wave that really pushed the price down. I guess the other thing that I looked at with this was versus Horizons 2. So Horizons 2 has been out for that 3 years now? 2 years? 3 years? 3 years now. So the collectors are pretty pricey at $600, $599. But they started out at $450, $500. So like, I remember getting a bunch at $450 and $475, $470. So are the collectors more than Horizons 2 started out? Yeah, but not by as much as I was expecting. And then I compared the plate boosters versus the set booster. And if you add in the extra 6 packs, you're basically at the same price versus the like 6 packs worth of value of cost plus this $320 is going to get you to like $380, $385. So you're basically the same cost. Is it good? No. But if it's basically close to the same price, I'm not as outraged or whatever. Like, would I have liked them to skip the Commander decks? Yes. But we're here where they need a lot of money, so there we go. They gotta just keep pushing Commander like crazy and go from there. So I guess my question is are you looking to buy any Modern Horizons 3? I know what I will probably do is pre-release kits. I had luck with Horizons 2 with them, so I'll probably do kits for Horizons 3 if I can get them, especially if it's the pre-release at home that they do. Some of the stores do in Canada. Those are really good value usually. And then at least one collector to open for the channel. And then some of the Commander decks, even though they're probably going to be not as good as some of the other Commander options for value, because the extra dollars don't always get like scaled up. Like, you might get a bit of extra value in these more expensive decks, but it's never like the same proportion, it seems. So I guess we'll just see how it goes. I guess my question is what do you plan to do with Horizons 3? Skip? Buy some? Wait till more info is released? I don't know. What's your opinion on it is, I guess, what I'd like to know. Thanks again for watching. This ended up being a bit longer than I was expecting, but we'll just have to see how it goes, and I hope to see you next time. Take care and have a good rest of your day.